Hi guys, I have a problem here with the Kenyan police. The Langata police station have been coming to my compound, tearing my fence and jumping my fence. I will remove him here because this is my premises. Hata wa anti-narcotics, they know I don't do that business. Wanajua. I want
to give my friends, my family a dance of joy. I'm on a jega.
If you've lived in Kenya the past decade, then the name Joyce Akinyi Ochieng, or better known as Joyce Chinedu at some point, or Joyce Wanjala, has probably crossed your timeline, TV or newspaper at least once. This woman has been in and out of headlines like a recurring character in a long-running soap opera. And if you've watched Griselda on Netflix, that Colombian Narco Queen, then you'll understand why Kenyans sometimes compare Joyce to her. The aura, the scandals, the endless court battles. But here's a twist. Joyce has always insisted, I am not a drug dealer. She calls herself a businesswoman.
Anti-narcotics, they know I don't do that business. Wanajua siuzagi.
Na hii juzi wameransack nyumba yako akapata.
Still, her story is filled with arrests, lovers, betrayals, police raids, courtroom dramas, and those viral clips that keep resurfacing. So who is Joyce really? Joyce Akinyi was born in Maseno. Her dad worked with the railways, so the family moved around quite a bit, from Kikuyu to Karen. Not much is known about her siblings, but what we do know is that Joyce is the firstborn child. Life wasn't easy. Her father died young after an illness, and her mother stepped in as the breadwinner. She ran small businesses, and teenage Joyce quickly joined in. Together, they would buy handbags from Uganda and sell them here in Nairobi for profit.
And I'm getting shoes and clothes. We are going with my mom.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was assisting my mom. And now, when my mom became sickly, so I was going alone. I just built my business from Uganda to Nairobi. I could buy palm.
After finishing high school, Joyce joined campus in India, but life hit hard again. Her mother passed away, leaving her not just orphaned, but also financially strained. With siblings to care for, Joyce dropped out of school and dove headfirst into hustling. Joyce's rise as a hustler is actually impressive. She claims she was the one who introduced Sangita braids into Kenya in the early 2000s. If you know, you know. From braids, she scaled up. She opened wholesale shops in Kamkunji and the CBD. Business was booming, and Joyce was building her empire one step at a time. She even claims she made her first real big money by building and selling houses in Lavington. According to her, she already had property, cars, and land way before any man came into her picture. Joyce met Nigerian businessman Anthony Chinedu in the 90s during her India trips. They had 2 children, and by the time baby number 3 was on the way, they tied the knot around 2004. Joyce insists she already had land, cars, and serious money before Chinedu came into her life. According to her, Chinedu had nothing when she met him. At first, their marriage was bliss. They lived in Lavington, drove big cars, and enjoyed the good life. But soon came the drama: accusations of infidelity, claims of domestic violence, and public embarrassments. Joyce claims she really tried to save her marriage. Even with black eyes and humiliation, she really fought for her marriage, but in the end, Chinedu walked out. He just packed his bags one day and left.
It is too much. Vita na nini. Alafu by the end I'll take the first move. Akatoka kaenda kushina, huyo mama ameoa. So maybe alikuwa na-expect ni put up a.
According to Joyce, Chinedu moved on to an older woman who was keeping him, yani the woman was sponsoring his finances, and about that time, that's when property wars between Joyce and Anthony Chinedu began. While fighting Chinedu over assets, Joyce's love life took a new turn. She began seeing Budalangi MP Raphael Wanjala, and together they made global headlines. In October 2008, the two were arrested at New Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport. Why? They were carrying $7.5 million in cash. That's almost 969 million Kenya shillings, like almost $1 billion. Indian authorities suspected money laundering. Their passports looked dodgy. They were detained and eventually thrown into Tihar prison, where they spent 5 months. It took Kenyan diplomatic intervention to get them out. I mean, the MP would have lost his seat should he have been imprisoned for 6 months. As per the law back then, I don't know if that still applies. Maybe. That's why the Kenyan diplomatic team intervened. Meanwhile, back in Nairobi, Chinedu pounced. He stormed Joyce's prized asset, Deep West Resort in Langata. Deep West was her cash cow, her pride, her empire. The nightclub and lodging was a place that was known to attract Luo Benga artists back in the day, and Joyce alleged that this place could make her millions, like she could invest, let's say, 3 million and make 6 million in a night. After 5 months in an Indian prison, Joyce and her then-boyfriend, Raphael Wanjala, were released. She came back home only to find that her estranged ex-husband, Anthony Chinedu, had taken over Deep West Resort in Langata. This sparked the infamous Deep West jag-throwing drama, where police had to fire shots in the air to calm the chaos.
Things fell apart, and now she lifts a full-size chair above her head and chucks it across the table.
Just look for...
In 2013, Anthony Chinedu's chapter in Kenya ended with a bang, literally. He was arrested with heroin. Reports claim that the reports vary. Some say he was caught with 10 grams, others claim more, and this made him to be deported alongside other Nigerians accused of illicit business.
I want to give my friends, my family a dance of joy. I'm on a jega.
On arrival in Nigeria, the Kenyan deportation plane was detained. Chinedu, with his big ego, bragged that it was his connections that caused the drama.
I'm a madman. When I catch you with a madman, it's when you know that a madman has a father, a madman has a mother. So Chinedu, there is something about Chinedu. That is what Kenyan does not understand. There is something about this nigga.
However, Kenyan authorities denied this and said that they weren't in communication with Chinedu. In fact, they were talking to the Nigerian government to have the Kenyan team brought back home. Seems like at the end of the day, it was government to government issues, not Anthony Chinedu's connections at play.
Because we have absolutely no intention before and now to have any conversation with him. So basically our consultations are not with Mr. Chinedu, they are with the federal government of Nigeria.
Joyce reclaimed Deep West once again and continued running her empire. Meanwhile, her romance with Wanjala was no longer a secret. They even had a son together. Joyce described Wanjala as a gentleman, while Chinedu claimed she was just another one of Wanjala's many wives.
He is married to 2 wives, people know for sure. Let daddy, she is cohabiting with my...
I don't see any problem. Even if I go out with food, that is none of anybody's business. Yeah.
Truth be told, Raphael Wanjala has 2 wives, by the way, and he's actually building them 2 mansions side by side in his Budalangi home.
Kutoka hapa naona nyumba mbili zenye zinafanana. What is this? Kuna nini ambacho kinaendelea hapa?
Sasa hili ndilo boma langu na niko na wake wawili.
Polygamous champion.
In November 2013, Joyce and Wanjala were arrested along the Namanga-Isinya highway by anti-narcotics police. They were accused of transporting drugs, but the two insisted it was maize flour, not drugs. Honestly, who carries maize flour across the border in such a suspicious way?
A curious Kenyan may have wondered and maybe informed the police that people are carrying bad things. Now it was until when around 11 when they were telling me that we are looking for narcotics. They are through with the results. That Wanjala is innocent, he was not carrying anything offensive.
Turns out, Raphael Wanjala is still looking to add a third wife.
Bado una matarajio ya kuleta watatu.
Eventually, Joyce broke things off with Wanjala, saying she was tired of dragging him into her endless scandals.
Ndio nikakutana na Wanjala. Kwa hizo tu shida akajaribu kunisaidia, and then unajua lini huwezi drag mtu kwa shida zako.
Still, they remained cordial, with Joyce posting him fondly while celebrating their son or his political wins, like when he reclaimed the Budalangi seat in 2022. Meanwhile, her flashy lifestyle took a hit. The state repossessed her luxury vehicles, claiming they were proceeds of crime. She also endured custody wars with Chinedu, and her children even called out their dad for stressing their mom and often hurling insults at her on Facebook. During COVID-19 lockdown, Joyce claimed police harassment.
I have a problem here with the Kenyan police. The Langata police station have been coming to my compound, tearing my fence and jumping my fence because the gate is locked. They come here at night, they start harassing people. I think this is a presidential curfew. It is a curfew. It is not a raid. I have 40 rooms that I accommodate.
She's been arrested several times but insists she's not a drag queen. She maintains that the heroin bust at Deep West was a police setup, like who'd be dumb enough to keep heroin at their workplace, she argued.
Hata wa CID, hata wa anti-narcotics, they know I don't do that business. Wanajua siuzagi.
Na hii juzi wameransack nyumba yako wakapata heroin ndani.
Hiyo kitu iliplantiwa ikwe determined kotini. Mbona kila saa inawekwa kwa public? Kila saa kwa public, kila saa inaenda kwa media. Yes, iko kotini. Ingojewe iishe.
Her love life a roller coaster. From Chinedu to Wanjala, Joyce finally called it quits on dating, saying she had had enough drama. Deep West Bar, July 2019, police storm in, heroin is seized, passports surface, fake ones at that, and right in the middle of it all, Joyce Akinyi, a name that once dripped with wealth, luxury cars, and political whispers, suddenly plastered across front pages as the so-called drag queen.
AM on Joyce Akinyi, Phyllis Anyango, and Kalala Pauline, a Congolese national, at the Deep West Club, and found them in possession of 5 kilograms of white.
The courts wasted no time. Akinyi was slapped with charges of trafficking heroin, possession of forged DRC passport under the name Mape Malin Kambura, and even holding a passport without legal explanation. Her co-stars, Pauline Kalala Mosakinshe, the Congolese national caught with heroin and his own fake documents, and Paris Onyango Omondi, alias Raha Evelyn Kambere, also roped in. When the case hit the High Court, Akinyi pulled every string possible. She begged for softer bail conditions, arguing $1 million shillings plus 2 sureties was impossible. Judges eventually bent a little, cutting down reporting requirements, but Pauline, as a foreigner, he was told bluntly, "Sir, you're not going anywhere, no bail for him." Pauline did time from that time, that is 2019, till 2024, when the final verdict of the case was given. Now, if you thought Joyce would keep quiet, think again. On camera, she denied it all, telling anyone who'd listen that she was being framed.
I can tell you without fear of contradiction, CIDs wote, polisi wote wanajua sifanyagi drugs, wanajua sifanyagi hiyo biashara. They know it without fear of contradiction.
In one interview with Jalango, now Langata MP, she insisted her enemies planted evidence at her property, claiming she was no drug queen, just a businesswoman under attack.
Najua siuzagi.
Na hii juzi wameransack nyumba yako wakapata heroin ndani.
Hiyo kitu iliplantiwa ikuwe determined kotini. Mbona kila saa inawekwa kwa public? Kila saa kwa public, kila saa inaenda kwa media. Yes, iko kotini. Ingojewe iishe.
But prosecutors came armed. Audio recordings, text messages, a digital Tabita scale, that one is common among drug circles, and heroin worth millions in her very premises. Let's just say the court wasn't buying her version. Fast forward to January 9th, 2025, the JKIA court was packed. Cameras rolled, and there she was, dressed in a bright yellow outfit like she was ready for a photo shoot rather than Judgment Day. Anyway, she's always been stylish, I give that to her. The verdict, brutal. 25 years in prison and a fine of 9 million Kenya shillings. Pauline Kalala, 10 years plus a matching fine. Pauline is the Congolese national who was denied bail since this case began. He had already done a bit of time in jail. That's why he was given 10 years plus a fine. It is also said that at the time of the arrest in 2019, Pauline was Joyce's lover. And the third accomplice, Paris Onyango, sentenced in absentia to 25 years with a warrant hanging over her head. Seems like Paris went into hiding over fear of going to jail. To date, we don't know about her whereabouts or whether she was ever found after the verdict. But even in defeat, Akinyi had one last twist for the cameras. In a viral clip from Standard Digital, she claimed the police had stolen her gold chain during the arrest. Imagine you're being convicted for trafficking heroin worth over 56 million. But the part you want on record is that your jewelry went missing. If that isn't the definition of deflection, I don't know what is.
From me, and through my previous lawyer, we made an application, and we were told before Honorable Christine Jari, she said that those things will be returned to me by the end of the case.
From Maseno to Lavington, from handbags to billions in India, from luxury cars to prison walls, Joyce Akinyi's story is part hustle, part scandal, part tragedy. Was she Kenya's very own Narco Queen, or just a hustler entangled in toxic relationships and powerful enemies? Whatever side you believe, one thing is clear: Joyce Akinyi Ochieng has written her name in Kenya's crime and gossip history forever. Do you think Joyce was truly guilty or just a victim of toxic men and setups? If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up so that it reaches as many people as possible. Let's tell our authentic Kenyan stories and we let them shine. Also, if you'd like to advertise your business with us, reach out to us on Telegram at BNN MarketBot. Catch you on the next one.
They vandalized all my CCTV cameras and the system.